members of the congregation. You are now here on a Wednesday with Easy, the tech preacher. Truth to be told.
It's Wednesday, tell me, are you ready? It's Wednesday, tell me, are you ready? It's Wednesday, tell me, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's easy, yep, tech preacher, yes indeed it's easy. Yep, the tech preacher, yes indeed it's easy. Yep, the tech preacher, yes indeed it's easy. Yep, the tech preacher. All the real wired ones, where you at? 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 All the real wired ones, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Yes, indeed. Another episode of Wired Wednesday. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't say, oh, yeah, but I'm going to say, yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get it in today. Guess
Somebody
what?
on that
They
joint.
got some Samsung shit that's blowing up. Welcome to another episode of Wired Wednesday. I hope you hype. I know the first thing that people say when they listen to the first 30 seconds of this video, they go say, hey, who the fuck is that guy? Why he yelling and screaming and hollering? Why is he talking about phones blowing up? Samsung phones don't blow up. That's all out of proportion. Well, I bought some suspects here, and we're going to talk about it. I got some old shit that I pulled out the drawer that I ain't used in about 20 years.
Hey.
All right, y'all.
He got 20-year-old phone.
20 years old, okay.
Phone older than my son.
Burn, baby, burn. Oh,
Hey,
man.
burn,
You
nigga, burn.
gotta, I remember a long time ago, I used to call them tech guards, right? And Jay Will jumped on my ass and said, man, don't say that. Don't do that. And I stopped saying it. But, when you got a big content creator make a very delicate video, everybody talks
resonates. It resonates. It
Right.
resonates.
So it's the hot topic of the week, guys, and we got to talk about Samsung issues. And listen, this is a legitimate issue. Let's go all the way back to the Galaxy Note, 7, man. They recalled that phone twice.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, Samsung has not put a big battery in their device. They
Correct.
did not put a big battery in their device. And so, Samsung know they got a problem with batteries. They know this already. How could they can't fix it, but they know they got a problem with batteries.
They can fix it. They got to change that supplier.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I got some suspects here. I got the very first Android device here that I haven't used in, God, I don't know, a couple of years. I got the very first Galaxy Note. And I got a phone that should have blew up, right? The HTC with the 800, what it was, the 808 processor in it.
Mm-hmm.
The 810. No, the 810.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a
This
horrible
should have definitely
process.
blew up. These two should have definitely blew up, right? So this with these two here. I also got a T-Mobile. It's also a slider phone. This is like one of T-Mobile's first phones.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the one of Windows phones here that's been around for a long time. And I got the Galaxy S6. Or maybe the 5. No, it's the 6. So it's a Galaxy S6. And I got a Nexus device. And all these phones been sitting around. I haven't used them in a while. And I don't have no problem with it. No swelling. I mean, that's a thick boy. That might be swelling. I don't know. It was a curved back to it.
That was curved. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's
curved.
good.
There's nothing wrong with that phone. Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so what happened was after they dropped the video, after Mr. Who's Your Boss dropped the video, I've been getting tons of people hitting me up. Easy, you got all these phones. You got all these phones. Do you have any issues with your phones? And I'm gonna tell you guys, I got over 200 phones, and I don't have no issues with none of my phones. I got some phones I haven't used since, God, like this phone. I haven't used this phone since the beginning, and I haven't had no issues with it. I haven't had no issues with none of my phones. So I don't know. I'm not saying Mr. Who's Your Boss was. I mean, he showed proof. He had receipts.
Yeah. So go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
No, I'm done. I mean, I don't know what else to say here. I mean, I don't.
So
he had receipts.
I don't know if he's gonna have time. I know he's gonna try, but I asked Juan if he would join because Juan's been talking about for a while. He's had consistent issues over the years with Samsung's battery expanding, so he has to dispose of them.
Got a Note 2, I think, in here with expanded battery too.
Okay, well, GG's experience.
I remember I got videos on my channel making videos about Galaxy devices hot. I mean, they would really pass the threshold, like 160 degrees Fahrenheit, above 180, 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Really?
I got videos on my channel. Yeah, I got videos on my channel when devices was about 170 degrees Fahrenheit. It was all Samsung phones. I think it was the Galaxy Notes. I think it was the 7. I know the Galaxy Note 7 that I had was just, everything was hot about it. It was just steaming hot, but you know.
Okay, yeah, Michael. Michael's heard Juan talk about it as well.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Samsung going to investigate it, right? In order to do something, you know.
I don't think it's a problem for anyone in the chat and anyone on the panel. It's really for what the chat and the people on the panel and other YouTubers say. You know, we're worried about the average consumer that doesn't upgrade their phone, that holds it for a long time. Are they going to run into that issue?
Nah, they not.
So,
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I think for most people that, you know, after 2 years, they trade in their phone to get a new phone. After 2-3 years, they trade in their phones to get new phones. Usually people ain't like us that salvage, you know, a lot of devices that don't, you know, give up our phones, like talking about it. But a lot of us don't keep phones neither. I mean, I'm the only dumb one that got like Galaxy S6s and stuff like that and Galaxy Note 1s. That's before Swapper, this phone was worth a lot, but now it's after Swapper and, you know, eBay and all the trading stuff going on, these phones ain't worth nothing anymore. You know, one of the reasons why I started collecting a lot of phones, especially like, you know, the very first iPhone, is because of the value of the long term. But they lost value. They suck. You can't get shit for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had a battery expand, but I was asking a lot. I used, you know, sometimes you don't want to retire a phone, so I used a Motorola E4 Plus for about 5 years as a security cam. So it was 24/7 had battery. I mean, had a plug going to it. So
yeah, I mean, look, I got the Note, and I got the original battery in here, and it's Samsung battery, and it's the original battery, and it haven't swole up on it. It's been sitting. I haven't fired up this phone in years, and I feel like a toy without it, though.
Oh yeah, they feel like.
Listen, man, can we go back to these size phones? I love this aspect ratio and these big, nice, because you get a lot of information, but instead of going to these, you know, thin, long,
that
skinny
ain't gonna
phones.
happen, man.
I know, man. I love these size phones, man.
What up, Johan?
But this was a 5 by 5, right? This wasn't a 6-inch device. This was a 5.5 inch device.
I mean 5 and 5. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, this was I love this phone, by the way. This was a 6-inch. This is a 6-inch phone, right? 6-inch phone, but it had the 16:9 aspect ratio.
Correct.
But everybody going with these little slim gym phones, you know. I don't know. I love this phone.
Yeah, I think it's a cut down on the width. I really believe that's what's going on.
Hey, shout out to Urban Fire. Listen, man, I want to publicly apologize to Urban Fire. For some strange reason, me and him been going back and forth in the DMs and stuff, talking to this kind of pleasantries. And he noticed that he been commenting on my videos, but he couldn't see it, and I couldn't see it. Well, come to find out, he been blocked for a while.
Blocked.
He been blocked, and my apologies. I don't know how it happened, sir. And he was like,
said
"Hey,
it was
man,
the same way on my channel, but he's not blocked on my channel.
yeah, he was blocked, so I unblocked him, and man,
Maybe it was a self-imposed block.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I want to
Don't know.
apologize to him.
He ain't blocked on mine, but I told him to reach out to y'all because he says the same on LaShawn's and mine.
Really? We see him on LaShawn's though.
Huh. I don't know what happened, but we go dance on this one.
Dance.
That time I got that heat, let's go.
Yes,
bro.
Jay Will. Yes, Jay Will.
So, Jay Will, if you want to come on the panel, man, I can send you a link if you want to voice your opinion about the current state of tech. Like every week we get this drama, right? It kind of
Say the word,
me
Jay Will, and the link is sent.
It kind of reminds me of every week what's going to be new next week, right?
Mm-hmm,
It's like every week we get some kind of story, some issue, something, and it.
Well, I think what it is, there's a lot of times where the smaller YouTuber will mention this, and they'll talk about it, but no one cares until Mr. Who's the Boss says. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't register.
You know what? I agree, because when I was talking about the Galaxy Note 7, right before it blew up. A lot of people was coming to me like, "Easy, you don't know what you're talking about." I was making video after video after video, but I only had 5,000 subscribers at that time, so nobody believed you. Listen, this is crazy in the YouTube tech space, right? They look at your numbers to see your credibility. They believe you're not credible if you don't have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subscribers. I disagree with that. And I get this comment a lot. Oh, I wonder if one of the big YouTubers will make a video about that. I'm like, well, I made a video about it, But, they're like, yeah, you're not nobody. And I think a lot of people believe that. A lot of people believe that the smaller content creators is not relevant, irrelevant, however it goes, because.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, because
we're not.
Oh, you gonna try and give somebody some English?
Yes, sir.
Jay Will says, "Send him a
Wipe
link."
that look off your face, son.
Burial.
Come on, son. Come on, son.
Come on, son.
Come on, son.
G.
Yeah. So yeah, and you know what? To me, I believe that I watch YouTube all day, right? I watch a lot of content creators, and if this so happened, I dropped my video today. My video was scheduled for today, but it actually been already made for like a week or so ago. And it would just so happen when I dropped my video, everybody's flooding my comments and hit my DMs about, did you watch Who's Your Boss video? Did you see what do you know about the phones? What's your thoughts about it? And I'm like, I will talk about it on my Wired Wednesday. And when MKBHD make a video about an issue, it becomes the talk of the tech space. Mr. Who's Your Boss talk about it, where you have Unbox Therapy, or some of those guys talk about an issue in the tech space. It becomes the talk of the time. Listen, I've seen people do Twitter spaces for the last couple of days talking about it. I've seen people make YouTube videos about it. I've been seeing people talk about it. It's been the talk of the town, and rightly so that Samsung ought to fix it. But I believe, like you said, why I've been talking about it for years. I've been talking about it on the Note 7 and up. I made videos about heat test videos about certain Galaxy phones that was hot. We don't get the recognition because, we're not up the upper tier, million subscribers, you know what I'm saying? We're not up there. I mean, Wine is up there, but I'm not up there, So I can't, Jay Will, he got his crown. So when he make a video about it, Jay Will got his crown, and when Jay Will got his crown, it did not people when he talk, people listen. But you got to get the crown first.
And how many you gotta have to get a crown, sir?
100,000.
How many you got?
High scoop.
Food by food.
How many you got, Eric?
I don't know, 60 something.
Oh, 60 something. All right.
Yeah, I'm a lost cause. I'm gonna be stuck on 60,000 subscribers.
Sir,
for,
if you
for 2
lost,
years.
Sir, stop it.
we will never be found.
Cut the shit.
You need somebody to rub your back, man.
Yeah.
Nah,
You
man,
okay?
no, man.
Give
I'm
me a
just
fucking
saying.
break.
Michael Pepper came right with it. 60.7K.
Come on, man.
Hey, listen, I mean,
Before I even started messing with you, man, coming on these things, man. I used to watch you for the LG content, and it was stellar. You're the only one doing it, bringing the fire. I ain't kissing your ass because I won't kiss your ass. I'm just telling you that you were the only one doing it, and you were doing it well. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So, bottom line is that
LL Cool J in it.
you know, people will gravitate to people who they feel are real. And you, when it came to that LG, you was passionate about it. I think now to a fucking fault, but that's a whole nother.
Boom.
dynamic.
That's a
okay,
whole
but you
nother
know
story.
what? I mean, look,
That's a whole nother
can say
story,
this.
sir.
That's a whole nother story.
Let me
now,
tell you
sir.
something. If you watch this video that I'm about to post, I'm trying to render this video. If you
All
watch
right.
it, I promise you, LG, you'll love your LG phone. You'll take your LG phone and you will say, you know what? F the rest. This LG phone is the bomb.
Oh, no.
Are you
He's
crazy, man?
He's got a Mi 11 Ultra. Why would he do that? Sorry, that's not happening.
Oh my God, what is wrong
That's
with
not
you,
happening.
man? Look, man,
Hey,
I like
man.
my LG phones, and I did for a while. But yo,
And they're great phones, but there are other
They
phones out
were.
there.
Good Lord, man. What? Wow.
Because you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. $250. That's why.
Yeah, right now it was. What did you pay for your
Yeah.
original? I know what I paid
Yeah,
for my
you didn't pay
V60 back in
200.
2020.
Yeah,
I still can feel my
$250
teeth
a
getting
day.
loosened right now. I'm trying to put it back in after the
$250
horse kick I got in the fucking mouth for that goddamn thing.
But $250 for a device that delivers a lot, 8K
What?
recording, manual mode. You know, I mean, you can't beat it with the best in class quad DAC. You know, I mean, it's just
I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not
know for
doubting that right now.
$250, man.
No,
And that's why.
think you're.
This is one of the reasons why I like the V60. It's because
You don't like the V60.
$250.
You
it
gargling the
delivers.
V60's nuts. You don't like it.
Yeah, I listen, man. Let's turn
Arr.
around. Let's put a female genital instead of a guy genital.
I can't tell.
Let's put a female genital there instead of a male genital, and I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm with that.
Hey, is it? I'm with this.
It wouldn't be the same, and it wouldn't hit as hard. It wouldn't hit as
Did
hard.
I
So that's why
gargle
I said what I
that?
said.
Yeah,
gargle that.
gargle it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it
gargle
was a
that.
You
female,
hey man, you be saying that gargling shit when it comes to iPhone, so I just figured I'd give it
but
right
you know
back
what?
to you.
But this what I got to do. I got to introduce somebody.
Uh-oh.
You know, what I'm saying? We got a guy that's in the building.
I got to turn it down.
Man, y'all get ready for the man with the master plan. You know, he get the briefcase in the back of his car. There it is.
Hey.
Oh, I don't have to. I don't have to.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I told y'all I wasn't BSing. Yeah.
Oh wow! Then we got
Yeah,
Jay.
he got
Wow.
some
Yeah,
phones
we're
that-
talking about batteries, right? Let's see if I can get that. I don't know. My autofocus will land on that. Let's see.
Wow.
What that?
There we
What that? What that's? Oh, you know what? I got a six right here too.
Is that the new clamshell?
That's a clamshell.
Their original, yeah, their original foldable, the original Samsung foldables.
Oh my
And-
goodness.
So these are the two worst examples, but almost all of my Samsungs prior to the S9 generation are dead. The only ones that are still running and running well are my Note 4, which I use all the time, so I'm charging it all the time. And oddly enough, my S6 Edge Plus is still, like, I can boot that one up after I've let it sit for a bit. The rest of these are basically just little mini spicy pillow bombs that are waiting to go off. And I've got to find good ways of recycling these now.
So since Wyatt came in the building, I gave him a celebration intro. I gotta do the same thing for my man Jay Will. Oh yeah, Jay Will in the building.
Oh, Jay, look at Jay Will.
That's what I'm
man.
Hey.
Jay
What's up?
Boogie in the building.
Chilling.
No,
That's
it's
what
real.
I'm
He got
talking
the
about.
glasses
What's
on.
up? What's your
Yeah, it's
glasses
real.
on?
What's going on, y'all?
Yeah,
Chilling,
you're right.
chilling, Jay Will.
See, you know, when you have a live stream and we talk about the flavor of the week, and you got two celebrities that come on,
Man.
man,
Here we go.
I'm doing something right.
Yeah, we.
I'm doing
Like, so I see
something
Jay Will, but that's one celebrity.
Nah, I'm not no celebrity.
Yeah,
No way.
Not damn sure doesn't mean.
And yeah, look, everybody talk about that Boca, man. What you got?
Yeah,
that,
look, I told you, Jay Will. Jay Will stunts on people. That's what he does.
No, I just trying to do a little upgrade. I'm trying to keep up with
Yeah,
y'all.
a little upgrade, huh? A little upgrade.
I'm trying to keep up with y'all.
Jay Will got the microphone. He got the Boca in effect.
This microphone cost $49, sir. My arm cost more than my microphone. Shout out to El Jefe. He recommended this arm to me, and it was like $65 or something like that. Because it's the big one, it can extend. But the microphone was like $49, $59 or something.
Yeah,
it's just 192 kilohertz.
$60, man. I'm with you. This microphone right here,
it's still
$60
kilohertz, man. That's what it is. 192 kilohertz. That's all.
Yeah. So when people say, "Man, I got to get this," $200 and $1,000 microphone, it's like, nah, man, we got some microphones that sound good at $60.
Nah.
Listen, when you make video, listen, I tell you this much. I made a video about this for Deuce, right? And a lot of people, well, it's not a Rogue, it's not a Sennheiser, it's not this, it's not that, but it sounds good, don't it? And it's like, yeah, but what you doing? And so everybody come up with all kinds of excuses why, certain microphones sound better than others and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, you hear how it sound? And look, I got the Rode video mic right here.
Right.
I got the pod mic, and I mean, I've always did the comparisons. In this mic, this sounds so better. This sounds much better. That's all.
Oh yeah.
And I use both of these mics when I do my Evil Twin videos, and y'all can hear the difference. And I got an Evil Twin video coming out too.
Easy. Are you able to find the phones that Juan pulled up?
Well, I pulled out some suspects. Not the phones that Juan got. I do have them in my box, but I had just pulled these out my box to kind of, say, hey, listen, I wasn't having no issues with none of these phones. Now, this is the Galaxy S6. This is the very first. This is the G1, and this is the My Touch.
Now, easy. I gotta interrupt you now. So this is you have been surprised. Juan and Jay Will have 350 phones that they're about to lay out on the table. It's time to step up.
I don't.
It's time to step the game up.
Easy, be like, whoa! I'm messing around.
I don't have a table large enough. I'm sorry.
What's so funny is if any phone should have blew up, this should have been these 808 and 810 processors.
Okay, I want to jump in.
Go ahead.
I want to. We got to jump in on this. So this is where tech YouTubers, they bring up a problem and they're doing a humongous disservice to consumers that should be educated on what the problem actually is. So it's been in my experience, if you let a Samsung kind of run its battery out with minimal use, something in that controller for the battery just dies. And the battery no longer has whatever it needs to maintain its structural integrity. This is a very different situation than an overheating problem or a boot looping problem, or when the Note 7 was exploding. And we're conflating Samsung battery with about 3 or 4 different issues. And what we need to say is like, hey, we've got family and friends out there. My mom, she's still on a OnePlus 6T, and I know she's got an old Galaxy S5 sitting in a drawer somewhere. I guarantee you she has not been topping off that S5 battery. That is dangerous. So now we need to ask people who have older Samsung devices, like I've been saying for a while now, you need to go and see, like, you have a shoebox with some old tech in it, go and check this out. Because when I have other phones that die, like I've got this one here, this is my Lumia 830. I let my Lumia 830 go too long. Now this will not charge up. This I get the little plug-in battery warning, like, oh no, they just can't, the battery doesn't work. This phone is structurally intact. So whatever I did to let this battery fully discharge and die, the phone has not failed in its mission to contain the chemicals in this battery. Samsungs do not have the same kind of structural durability when you let them run out and you start getting this battery puff. I have a couple other Samsungs that are dead. I need to get rid of them because now that I can't charge them, they are significantly more dangerous. So this is the conversation that we need to have with people. Don't let old tech just sit around forever because that's bad. But it's worse on some companies than it is on others. And I would say this problem probably extends up to around the Galaxy S8 era of phones.
I know one thing that I know for a fact, that when I do revisit some older devices, I do charge my older devices up every now and then. So I even though I might say I haven't used this phone, if I'm not mistaken, I think I made a video about this phone about 7 months ago. So I've charged this phone, recently within the last year or so. So and the same thing with the Galaxy S6. I've actually made a video about this phone, Throwback Thursday video. So some of the older phones in my collection I have used and charged. So maybe I don't fall in that category.
But it's frustrating because this has been a known issue on Samsung devices for a while now. I mean, I've been talking. My S6 puffed almost 3 years ago. I mean, this isn't new, and we keep glossing over some significant quality issues on some companies, and we sort of write that off, and then we're so quick to flip out about a smaller brand having some kind of bug or QA or some kind of issue there too. So now this comes back around in cycles. Now we're all surprised again that old Samsungs have battery problems. What? Where have you been? Where have you been? This has been a problem for so long.
We not up see, it's a difference, Wine. We not there yet. Like when
there yet? What else do we need? People more people's homes burning down? What gets us there?
We talk about it, like you talk about it. I talked about it.
Yeah.
Jay will talk about it. We all talk about it. But when the MKBHD says something, then it's mainstream. Or Mr. Who's Your Boss says something, it's a mainstream. And that's the reality part about it, right? When they make a video about it, they got Twitter spaces going on. They're talking about it on Twitter all day. It's a problem that all of a sudden comes to the forefront.
Can I?
You go ahead, Jay.
First
Please.
All, I just want to know what really happened, because I don't watch Mr. Who's the Boss or whatever his name is, and I do follow MKBHD, but I did see a tweet or something when he was talking about his phone expanded. So is that what all this is coming from?
Yep. So he made a video.
So go.
I just think it's so irrelevant. This is not important. The fact of the matter is, I think a lot of these people, for some reason, want to take a shot at this. Like Juan said it before, and you guys said it. This is old news, but something big must be getting ready to happen, or Samsung didn't do something. And Samsung isn't the only company whose batteries expand like this when they sit for a long time. But I just think this is so stupid, to be honest. I really can appreciate a good debate, but this is one of the dumbest things that a person can bring up years later on phones that nobody's using. Like nobody's using these phones. I think I saw a tweet from MKBHD, and he said something about his old Samsung phones expand or something like that. He's not even using these phones. Let's be honest. I've met him several times in person. He uses an iPhone. He He doesn't use Samsung phones. And if he has a stock Android phone, it's not a Pixel. It's a OnePlus. Every time I've shook hands with him, that's what it was. OnePlus, iPhone, predominantly iPhone. So the fact that people are willing to make a big deal out of this because Who's the Boss, whatever that dude name is, said someone made a video about it. You got to think of the bigger picture. What's really happening here, or what's getting ready to happen? Because who cares about phones that are laying around in a box that no one's using?
Jay, Will, that's actually the one thing I do want to push back on.
Or whatever it is,
But that's the one thing I do want to push back on is we know people who have these phones sitting around in boxes.
That's great.
And an exposed puffed battery is something that deserves a consumer conversation. I don't want to. So I know where you're going with the sudden outrage in the tech community. I totally get that, Jay. But the point of that should be not, am I getting enough clicks on my YouTube videos so that I can make more sponsor dollars? The hook should be, this is a teachable moment for your family and friends, a reminder, go check on your old tech. I know lots of other batteries can puff, but I have never faced the consistency of battery failure on any other manufacturer as I have on Samsung. And like I said, like Lumias were built better. Lumias, I've got a couple that probably should be retired and removed from my bookshelf. Like they charge, but not really. They are not ripping apart the case and the seams of the phone because the battery controller completely failed. It is a unique property of old Samsungs that they went cheap on those batteries.
Samsungs. How many consumers are genuinely using old Samsung phones?
Well, no, that's the problem. If they're still using old Samsungs, they're fine. I have a Note 4 that's in regular rotation. I use it as my teleprompter. That phone is great. That phone is rock solid.
Yeah. Like
the problem is if you're like my mom and you've got a new phone and you have your old Samsung sitting around in a drawer, if you find that phone and you don't properly dispose of it, you have an exposed battery that's still ready to put a chemical fire in your home. So that's but it is. It is so much more consistently Samsung than any other manufacturer. And this isn't just one has 200 phones over here, and the only ones with exposed batteries are Samsungs. This is talking to repair shops, the number of companies who won't take Note 7s back. I can't get my S6 repaired because of all the advisories on third-party repair shops that will not take this phone back. I have photos. The reason I still have my S6 is I have my photos of my wife's pregnancy on that phone. No one in Southern California will fix that phone because of the constant issues with Samsung batteries and the advisories from those older phones where they caught on fire. So this is a uniquely Samsung issue from that era. This isn't all phones will do this. All phones that I have from that era that are failing are not failing like Samsung's.
Yeah, again, that I can appreciate your experience, but that's your experience. I got a lot of phones, and I got a lot of Samsung phones, and old Samsung phones that are in the box or in my storage at my other house. I've just never had one expand. On the contrary, I've had an LG one do it for me. I've had a Xiaomi one expand on me. I just went and disposed of it like I was supposed to. But again, I can appreciate what you're saying about people who have the older ones sitting around. However, this is not like a big issue like it tends to get put out there. Like Eric said earlier, if certain people say it, then it's a conversation. Just like when Apple makes a folding phone or goes Type-C, I had somebody tell me today, that's when it's going to hit and that's when it's going to be good. I said, well, sorry you feel that way, but Type-C has been around for a long time. Folding phones are already pretty good to me. Apple's not going to change the game. But again, I can appreciate your point on you having an experience with tons of Samsung phones, but I don't know very many people, because we're all going to have a different experience. I don't know very many people that still have an S6, S5 that they're actually using. And if they're not using it, they probably traded it off or somewhere sitting in a pawn shop somewhere. But I just don't understand when certain people say things, it just becomes the entire topic of the tech community.
Well,
go
ahead, Barry.
Yeah, well, I know what you're saying. I follow both of you, and Trent's Tech did a live stream, so I don't want you to think when Jay is saying he's not talking directly about you or what have you. But so Trent did a video. He said, I want to basically go against the narrative. He did a live stream of the narrative is that Samsung is bad and all this stuff. But
oh man, I missed it.
I have to say that I have heard people say this quite some. It's the smaller YouTubers, right? So when I say small, under 200K, have said this for years that they've had these type of issues with Samsung phones. I've never heard a Marquez, a Jerry Rig, a Unbox Therapy. I've never heard anyone that was, at that tier say this. And I think you're right. When people heard it, it's like, all right, well, let's go to Twitter. Let's go film a video. Let's do a live stream or what have you.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, not taking away from the fact that it is real.
Yeah. I know. Yeah,
I know. That's what I said, Juan. I see your point. It's real, but it's not real for the masses. This meaning is not happening.
I'm gonna push back on that, and especially because you said you have a whole bunch of old Samsungs in your other house. Go check on them and get rid of them. Don't wait. Don't let it become a problem. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is if you know people who hold on to stuff, tell them to check on it. That's the teachable moment here. Yeah, that's what really needs to happen.
I'm in agreement with that. But I'm not going to say my pushback like the words you're using, but my feelings on that is that how many people in the real world are actually using an S6?
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from.
That's not it. If they're using it, then it's fine. The problem is the systemic problem is a battery controller that fails once the battery taps out.
Right. So how many people?
So I've got an S6 and it still holds a charge and I can boot it up right now and I can still use it and it's great. I've got another S6 that is basically an incendiary device. And so if you're not using them, that's the problem. And so how many people? We don't know.
We don't.
And if you go and you talk to your family and friends, they probably have old phones.
They don't have no X. I make sure that they don't have that. I make sure what I'm rocking, that's what they
you do.
If you go back to what I said, I can appreciate your point of view.
Yeah, definitely.
So I need you to do the same for
me. I mean, do I need to pull them back up? My point of view is I'm sitting right under two devices that I'm terrified about, that I can't properly dispose of. Again, my experience is pretty. I mean, I've got a good representation of years of different devices here, and this is not unique. We've been talking about this, and I would say up until around the S8 era of phones, and that's not tremendously far off from the tail end of the bell curve of who might be using older phones.
But I can say this, that I made videos. Heat test videos way back with the S7, S8, and I used to complain about it all the time. The S8, the Note 7. I used to do battery test videos and heat test videos on those devices, and they was, 170 degrees Fahrenheit. I ran like a benchmark test, and they got so extremely hot. And I was like, oh my God, these phones are hot. But back then, the difference is that when you have a no-name person like myself, right? When I'm no-name, nobody really cared. They're like, oh, they push off. The comment. Remember, Jay, when we used to be talking about HTC. Remember that, man? They didn't care about me. I had 10,000 subscribers. They're like, you ain't nobody. Yep. Right. And Jay, you was at 70,000, 60,000, and me and you was making constant videos trying to debunk some of the issues that it just wasn't true, right? But what happened to us? What happened? I gave up on it because I felt that every time I made a video, I'm getting bombarded in my comment telling me I'm wrong. I need to, stop, quit YouTube and all this stuff like that. That type of stuff. Because of the bigger content creators, what they make, and I stopped saying tech god, right? And this is, you have to, I put it in this category. The reason why is because when they say something, and I think they have to be conscientious of what they say, it's because the tech community revolves around their words, and I don't know why, but it does.
See, the thing about having a voice, the people who have the voice, sometimes they don't use it like they should. Like even in this instance right here, I see Trent Tech saying, like, why sound the alarm? Because in reality, if a person really felt this deep about it, what's the point of getting online and then making, like Trent says, sounding the alarm? Like, Juan, I agree with you. It may not sound like it, but I totally agree with your situation and I respect your situation. But at the same time, you said it's not unique. It's not unique, but your situation is definitely unique because you still have a bunch of old Samsung phones that you show. I can see it; they're expanding. But the reality is, it's just like when someone comes out and says there's a problem on a Pixel or there's a problem on an iPhone. It's really not as big as what people say, but it depends on who says it. That's it. Eventually, exactly. That's what it boils down to.
I agree. It depends on who says it, but
a sprinkle of people who say it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just becomes law. And then, like Eric said back in the day, it's not even back in the day, Eric. I still do that today. I don't like call people out, but I'll address some things that I feel like are just like somebody said that this was the first OnePlus device with no vibrate switch. That's totally not correct. I got like 3 of them over here. That was before the OnePlus 10T. And I got the OnePlus 10T over. Some people make statements in a rush because they feel like they got to get out there first. But reality is phones have expanded. I've had LG batteries expand. The LG G5 battery expanded in the phone before. An old Xiaomi device expanded in a device before. I didn't feel the need to jump online and say, hey, if you got an old LG, you need to get rid of it. Let me check on all my family members. That's not the voice of a true tech enthusiast, I say, or a person who's trying to keep people informed. I'm going to turn around, pick up the phone and say, hey, remember when you had that so-and-so? Okay, you probably want to take care of it and go dispose it. But some people who get online use their voices, to me, just to be seen or stay relevant, because I did see the tweet from MKBHD But I don't watch the boss dude, so don't know what he's talking about. I just think it matters who says it, and then all of a sudden,
I think what was strange is if you watch Arun, like last year it was kind of different. So like he would do a review, then there'd be some Chinese OEM, and he's like, well, I think this is better than the S21 Ultra. But I think he's been very consistent this year, where he'll do a review. He's got all these pretty B-roll graphics. He's got pictures up, and then he's like, and at the end of the day, just buy a Samsung. Like it's been consistent. Like, I mean, it's like, wait a second. Did you even look at that photo that you took? You're the one that took the photo, right? You're the one that displayed that photo. You chose to put these photos and videos. Like, how did you pick the Samsung? So I think that's what's catching a lot of people off guard.
Like said, is there actually an alarm? Like I see these people, this cat Lopez in the comments saying J Real's wrong. I think you need to respect everybody's opinion, because all we're doing up here on this panel is giving opinions and our experiences on it. So I'm not wrong. I'm going by my experience.
So first of all,
the fact is there's no alarm to sound.
Yeah. So real quick, J Will, Easy, everybody on the panel.
Old text saying, "Oh my gosh," because like I said before, if you're so passionate about it, why run to the internet? Go protect your family.
Yeah, but like I said, I think that's what throws them off. And also, you don't have to worry about the chat. I control the chat, so you guys can be fun. If anything gets really unruly, I'll take care of it. So don't worry about the chat. I'll take care of that. But like I said, I think that's where the surprise came from, and that's what probably sounded alarm, because like even tech tablets, who a lot of people have a lot of respect for, he did that recently too. He did a couple of videos where he was always like, oh, this is better. Yeah, the Mi 11 Ultra takes it. That's my #1 camera phone. And then this year, all of a sudden, but after playing with this 12S Ultra,
excuse me, Barry.
I'll just have to go ahead and say, go ahead.
Michael, listen, I don't need to watch anybody else's video. They are not the law. They are just people talking, just like people on this panel. They're just giving their opinion. You guys need to think for yourself and stop being followers. I don't care about being a YouTuber. I'm telling you, man, to whoever you are, think for yourself.
I think
that's what the
problem.
Who's the boss or whoever this cat is.
I know, but I think that's where everything gets started at, because once when you look at it,
clowns.
I know, but when you look at it,
everybody says.
I know, but when you look at an MKBHD or Mr. Ball or Mr. Who's Your Boss, right?
So I don't think anyone is believing that. I think Trent said it. No, I think Trent said it best. Trent said if it's true, he's going to continue to buy Samsung. I think people are rocking with Samsung. I think tech reviewers could say negative things about Samsung, and it wouldn't change public opinion.
Not gonna
they ride. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think there is a win for Aaron. It's just like Apple, and it's just like Apple. How when 60 Hertz came out, you heard all of the top reviewers that had a problem with 60 Hertz didn't have anything to say. All they said was, "Man, this is going to improve battery life."
Yeah.
What? I thought it was the worst thing ever for $400.
But let me ask y'all a question here. As content creators, as tech reviewers, isn't it our
responsibility
to inform the public or give our opinion about products and services that we review?
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
Mm-hmm. So
how you use your voice.
Right. And so I think for me, the video I dropped today, I had issues with my 404. And talked about it. And, I had issues, and a couple of people hit me up and gave me some solutions.
Hey, go sit down somewhere, man. You in here riding already, cat. Go sit down somewhere, B. You don't even, what you talking about is irrelevant, son. You study thinking I'm trying to go against the grain. What you don't hear is people telling you the truth. You want people to tap dance for you. I'm not the one, son. So go sit down. All y'all cats are, you wrong. Quit being so soft.
It's all good.
To the people with 15 million views, but you don't want to hear the truth. I just got done agreeing with you, Juan. I see you, Juan. I respect it. That's what you're going through. Stop all this old clown stuff, trying to get stuff fired up between people. Oh, well, Jay, Juan just showed. Sit down somewhere, B. Sit down with that. Sit down with that, man. Y'all too busy trying to hear one side, and as soon as a person says something that you don't agree with, they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
don't we have that same issue? Don't we have that same issue with the trending on Twitter for 60 hertz. When the Pixel 6a came out, a phenomenal phone, but the big boys, they slammed it because of 60 hertz displays. But here come Apple with the iPhone 14, and it's like
no hate.
What you expect? I mean, it's iPhone. What you expect, right? And I think it's the division in the tech community, because you have one party that's fanboyish up on one product. And
Juan, what you think? Like, if one of us get on the internet and says, "Hey, this is getting ready to happen," like everybody on this panel, we jump up and tweet, "Hey, this is probably gonna happen," and then one of them retweets it, like a person with 10 million views retweets it. If one of us says it, you think it's gonna blow up like that? You think everybody, oh my God, we need to go check our storage? If either you tweet it, you think it's gonna turn out the same?
Nah, but that's what the message needs to be. Like, we're kind of talking past each other on a bunch of the particulars of this issue, because I think we can point to a Mr. Who's the Boss video and say, you're doing this to get the clicks and the views because it's something salacious with one of the largest brands for SEO on YouTube, right? Like, if you want your Pixel video to do better, you put Pixel versus Samsung, and your Pixel video will do 10 times better. That's a problem, because that is not good consumer education, but that's what YouTube is going to put under the noses of all of these so-called average consumers that we're claiming to be concerned about. And he misses the most vital teachable moment, which is you've got to be careful with your old tech. We can't just sit there and pretend like you had an old flip phone that was in a shoebox and you had, I had this for like 20 years ago and isn't this so cute and looks my little LG flip phone. This stuff is a lot more dangerous than it used to be. It's a lot more toxic than it used to be. The flip side of that, and one of the things that I think we're getting hung up on, some companies are better about maintaining the structure of their failure better than others.
Good quality.
And so there is a Samsung component to this conversation where the consistency of their products improved after the Note 7 fiasco. There was a whole year of phones after the Note 7 that was built on that older style of Samsung manufacturing. And so if you had an older Samsung and you threw it in a box somewhere, Jay Wills, I'm asking you as a friend, I am begging you to go check your other house just to make sure.
Earlier, every 3 to 6 months.
But that is a more consistent issue, and that is not an opinion. That is not me just spitballing here because I have a ton of phones. That is a more consistent problem that led up to the Note 7 exploding. And so this is where we've got all of these different threads happening all at the same time. And it gets really confusing for the consumer when we're like, oh, but this is different because like when the Pixel 6, or but this was an issue because Apple and 60 hertz. No, we're talking about Samsung and batteries. Samsung and batteries have a reputation for a reason. And this is a consumer PSA. And it should be. It should be someone in like, a button-up shirt down to the second button and a sport coat. Just, hey folks, I just want to make sure you know, properly recycle your old gadgets, and old phones can be a fire hazard. Back to you, Tim. Like, that's what we need. We need grounded and adult conversations about what these gadgets really represent. And we're not going to get that from YouTubers because so much of your money is built on either shock and outrage, riding the hype train, or just popularizing whatever is already popular.
Don't you think Juan, don't you think that's a little bit of a hype train just because of who said it?
No, that's my problem. It's absolutely my problem because he's using his platform to enrich his own position. I will get more clicks when I say something saucy about Samsung. And he's missed the vital part of this conversation, which is, dudes, go check your old shoe box of gear. Go clean it out, take it to a hazardous material drop-off center in your city. Your taxes are probably paying for this type of advanced recycling. Go find where that is and carefully dispose of it. Don't be like tech YouTubers who have hundreds of old phones sitting around.
I think
so this to me is like, I need that clarity pointing directly at someone. I'm looking you in the eye to tell you, please don't let this go to the extent that Mr. Who's the Boss or Juan Bagnell or Jay Wills with his old LG, don't let it go that far. Get rid of it before it gets that bad. Because these things are very dangerous chemical pouches if you let them go unchecked. And if we can't sort of settle in on that, then we've lost this moment. And then in another year, someone else is going to use their huge audience to go, oh my gosh, I had a big problem with my Samsung. And it's going to be like a Galaxy S4, right? Yeah. So now is the moment to seize this and say, take care of your families, but we need to use our platforms to tell other tech literate folks to get them to be the good tech neighbors to go take care of their families too.
Yeah, well, I agree. The division is there, though. I mean, I totally agree. Using the platform for what it should be, it shouldn't always be who said it. It should be more about what's being said, and so we can.
I agree.
Correct. I agree.
I completely agree, and I really wish that were the case. But YouTube only cares about eyeballs and time on site.
Yep.
So we got to fight YouTube. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose big time.
Yeah, I give you a prime example, right? So we know as tech enthusiasts, as tech content creators, what videos to drop that we know they go get the clicks, right? Yeah. But we make those eyeball videos, we know it's not gonna get the clicks. And so to me, I look at two things, right? I look at that my YouTube channel is for the people, right? And I always look at, you know, when I make videos, when I drop content, it's not just targeted towards the clicks and the, you know, the views, because I make eyeball videos, right? Speakers, we do a different. This is one of the reasons why I will never become a niche, right? Because I won't just stay straight and narrow on one subject. I will talk about all things tech. And so that's why, you know, they say, well, you know, people hit me up all the time. Well, easy, you can't grow. You won't grow as fast. You won't get the views. You won't get the people. And the reason why is because you all over the place. And I was like, how is tech all over the place? Tech is monitors, headphones, smartphones. I mean, it's everything.
Automobiles and all that stuff. So easy. So I know we talk about that. You're always going to niche. You're not going to niche down all that stuff.
Never.
But remember when you thought about it a couple of weeks ago, since you know automobiles, all that stuff, Xiaomi, you know, just niching down on Xiaomi because they provide everything that you talk about, and you just have a Xiaomi channel.
Wow.
You like that? I'm sorry. I had to do it.
He's not gonna do it. You will.
X1S Ultra is on a tripod mount, or I'd hold it up right now. Actually,
we're gonna go to Eric
easy to that
and get his phones and get rid of them. So we make a lot of jokes about how I'm running a phone museum. I've been working harder than ever before over the last 2 years to kind of clean things out, get rid of things. If they're still functional, like you can still use them on cell plans, I've been giving them to shelters or selling them for charitable donations. Like, I'm actively trying not to. And I'm expressing this for folks out there, like V Gorilla in the chat. Don't be a collector like me. It causes a lot of problems, and if you have the kind of liberal angst that I have, there's a huge mountain of e-waste in my office that now is going to take a significant amount of work to properly clean up, dispose of, and make sure it's done safely. But to your point, Easy, about not niching down, I've been on YouTube for so long. Over the last year, I kind of just figured out who my audience is. Because I don't make videos for average consumers. I have no interest in trying to boil things down to the absolute lowest level. I make videos for people who want to educate those around them. And so I'm always perpetually going to have a much smaller audience, because those are the people that I'm really trying to talk to. Someone who can understand a little nuance, someone who can appreciate the shades of gray, and isn't looking for just the simplest thumbs up, thumbs down. And I gotta say, that's one of the reasons, and Jay Will, please count yourself in this too, because I lurk on a lot of your videos. This is the reason why I enjoy your conversations so much, is because we will talk about this at a higher level than just what's the prettiest case color that I can put on my phone. Yeah. There's an education process. It could be optics, it could be audio, it could be displays, it could be battery tech, it could be processing power. And it's okay that we talk a little higher, so that those folks who are watching in the chat can then break that down for their family and friends and help them make a better purchasing decision. Yeah, I'm not the one to do that outreach.
So this comment right here say it's a proven thing. We know
but the thing about it, that's T, and everybody's different. So I'm glad we celebrate T's success. He's kicking butt.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like, I don't expect, like, just watching you guys over you three specifically over the years, I couldn't see you guys just saying, "Oh, I'm only doing one product." You know what I'm saying? Or I'm only doing one type. That's just not in your nature. I think it works good for some and works good for others.
I can't do one type of product in a day. I've written 3 scripts today.
And you know what? Listen, shout out to people that just want to stay straight and narrow to a specific day. You know, it's all good. You got that audience and stuff like that. Me, listen, man, I like to be happy. And you know, sometimes, man, I don't want to, you know.
Oh, T in the chat. We're not saying you're not happy. That's not what you say.
Absolutely not.
For me, no. I'm not.
It takes different things to make different people happy.
Yeah.
Like influencers, everybody don't like
me. For me,
this is really no. I know what you mean. I'm sorry. I'm jumping in here because when we talk about the different philosophies, and obviously what we're trying to say is I appreciate the conversations and I get to learn more when I structure my channel in a way. And I have to know, waking up every day, that means I am destined for less financial and YouTube success. But I'm making a choice that is what I'm trying to pursue. It's the emotions on that get real dicey because some people take that to mean like, well, you're compromising yourself to be successful on YouTube, and that's not what we're saying at all. It's just hard to express like, I feel this way doesn't mean I think you should feel that way too.
But the thing about it is, for me, what I look at it like this, right? I look at my YouTube channel as my business, right? And we all look at our YouTube channels as our business. Listen, I own 3 businesses. I already know about success. I know about success. So I own 3 businesses. So I know for my YouTube business that I run, I like to do all things tech. And I know that, you know, when I make videos and it won't get some clicks, you know, I make a light video. I know it ain't gonna get the huge.
It was good. It was a good light video though.
Like that. It's a good light video, but I already know that it's not gonna be the huge success. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay because you know what? At the end of the day, YouTube AdSense is not what my bulk of my money. By the way, I go get my Jack Daniels and my Crown Royal and my beer and you know and all that type of stuff. I don't look at YouTube AdSense as, you know, my main thing, you know what I'm saying? So once I get that YouTube AdSense, I mean, I go to happy hour with that. That's what I do. You know, it ain't, I'm making videos, you know, it's not my main structure finance. So that's why I feel that I'm comfortable of just doing what I believe that is good for my audience and trying to get new people in and try to broaden my horizon on different aspects of tech, not just, you know, smartphones and stuff like that. And listen, I know when I do a smartphone video, I know I'm going to get a lot of views on it, but that's okay if I do a light video. It's okay if I do a monitor video, headphones and stuff like that. You know, I feel that.
Eric, the shorter version of this is you're having fun.
Yeah, that's the key. So like I know for me personally, if a company approached me and they're like, hey, you know, our $300 mid-range line, right? And they said, hey, we want you to do a series of like 15 videos. We'll compensate you for it, but we have a $25 phone. It's like, I'm out. You know, I can do one video on it, but I'm more excited. I'm just gonna be upfront with mid-rangers and flagship phones, right? I can call anyone on this panel. I could send them a message, tell people in the chat, you know, communicate with them like, hey, I'm so excited about this phone. I can't get on camera and just pretend, you know?
And think about it. I think for everybody running their YouTube channel differently, think about this. Listen, man, this is the opportunity for everybody that runs their YouTube channel different. Is it good or bad? It ain't that for us to you know, make decisions on what other people do. I mean, we work. Listen, man. You know, when I turn on my 5 cameras when I do my case video, let me tell you, I do my case video. I put on 5 cameras. By the way, I got my top down shot, my front shot, I got my back shot, I got my B-roll going on. So when I do my case videos, I got 5 cameras. Player. No, I'm just messing with you. No, I'm just saying though, just making fun. But I'm just saying we all run our YouTube channel differently and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, Jay will make his videos. I enjoy his content. He's straight and narrow. He get to the point. He talk about it, then he end it, and he go to the next one. When I watch Wine Back Now videos, I know I'm gonna get educated you know, on a lot of different aspects, right? When I watch my videos, I don't know what I be doing. I don't know why people watch my videos, but I do my best to entertain people. When I watch Barry and Gigi videos and Holla at Your Boy videos, listen, I get a lot out of their videos. I see the work that they put in, when I watch the Scoop video, Behind the Scoop. I mean, everybody does everything, and I watch YouTube all the time. So, I mean, I think we all have a different way how we approach things, and that's,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You got to have fun first.
Yeah.
I don't think people should even.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't think people should even attempt to do YouTube if they're just there to get money. Because that's what a lot of newer creators are doing. They're just simply talking about money.
That's a new trend.
Yeah, I mean, the money, that stuff will come. That's what you want. Go for it. I mean, this is your only job, or you consider it a job. Go for it. I'm still in the fun phase, believe it or not. I just don't look at the YouTube revenue as, this is why I'm here. I just think that's where a lot of creators don't make it. You look good for a little bit. I see a lot of creators get in, start making a lot of bread, or start getting the recognition, and that ego kicks in. And then, but if YouTube stops, if revenue stops, then what you gonna do? Are you still gonna have fun, or are you still gonna do it? Like if they turn off ad revenue right now and say it went down for 6 months, how many people won't be able to still maintain? How many people will be able to maintain? Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people, because they just rely heavily on YouTube and they're not having fun. They're looking at it as just solely, I'm just here to get money. I've seen plenty of creators, and I've met them, and they say, I don't care about the comments. I don't read them. I don't care about the subscribers. I just want them to watch my videos so I can get paid, and I'm out. To me, that's the wrong attitude to have, but that's just how they feel. I don't think there's also, like when people say about having a niche channel, I think if a person's doing something, you don't have to put a label on it. It's just fun. It's fun to you.
Yeah.
Like when I watch El Jefe do headphones, his predominant thing is headphones, but he told me about this mic arm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No,
that you may think your channel is focused on that. Like just because I'm watching a case video, that don't mean that's all I'm going to get from you. I'm going to get something way more than that. I like your table, or I like that light, or just whatever.
Jay, we're in a chat. It's Mims, Scoop, LaShawn, a whole bunch of Gigi. We're all in the chat. I think you're in that chat too. And it's almost every day. Hasn't been as active the last couple of weeks, but it's El Jefe's finding a new phone. I'm finding, someone's finding, hey, you check this out. And we're all like little school children. Like, man, we got to try this out, so.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you should have fun.
I think that's the thing about it, right? Is that I look at my channel like this, right? If a person doesn't, like the way I run my channel, right? And I always tell them, hey, listen, it's all good. I ain't mad at you if you don't like the way I run my channel, or we make the videos that we make. It's all good. I ain't tripping. Listen, I'm not the only tech reviewer. I'm not the only person on YouTube.
But that's why it's called YouTube, Eric.
That's right. Everybody on YouTube. I mean, they got people on YouTube make videos all day, all night. I'm just one out of hundreds of thousands of people that make videos. So I can't. I'm not going to buy into the, you ought to make certain kind of videos. I'm not going to buy into, you need to, only make this. And I don't let nobody dictate the way I run my channel. I run my channel the way I see fit. And I think we all do. Right. Yeah,
I mean, you should.
Well, what works for Eric ain't going to work for Kimmy, ain't going to work for Barry. Yeah. So we can't use one formula that's going to work for everybody.
Yeah.
And
I mean, what works for Juan doesn't even really work for Juan. He's like constantly looking for other things to do.
Yes.
So.
And you know what? I say the same thing when I make a video. I say, God, I put 2 days in this video, and I know the video ain't gonna do that well, but it's all good. I had fun making it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I ain't trip. I don't trip. I'm serious.
I just like to tell stories.
Shine your boy back.
Yeah, boy there.
Yeah, I see him.
So basically, I think we're all in agreement that Sean is going to kick up a new YouTube channel of his own, reviewing all of the phones that he has. And,
absolutely not, Juan.
I think we just cracked the case.
I'm having way
take
too
it
much
to
fun.
the bank. It's a foregone conclusion.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm having too much fun hanging out. No, I'm having too much
for you to
fun.
niche down,
Hey.
Sean. Niche
Then
down.
we'll have people subbing to my channel.
I don't, you know.
You got to niche down.
You haven't even started your channel yet. It's too broad, sir. It's too broad.
Too broad.
So let me ask y'all guys a question. We're about 2 weeks from the Pixel 7 launch, right? And as y'all guys know, last year the Pixel 6 got destroyed the first month of the release, right? And a lot of people, you know, got the pitchforks and shovels already ready for Google to mess up. And I think you're gonna listen, man. I think every company that roll out a device got issues. We know this already, but it's something about Google. It's something about OnePlus. It's something about these two companies. Every time they roll out a device, pitchforks and shovels are already ready before they even roll out the device. And then when they roll out the device, it's so picky. People picky and nitpick on these devices. And I mean, and I understand that, you know, the clicks and the views and all that stuff like that. But why this happens every year. We've been going through this for years, guys, by the way.
The reason why it happens here is because the U.S. feels that Samsung and Apple should be the only two companies that exist. And people are holding that line instead of just enjoying the tech that's out here and really appreciating the differences between phones. Who is that phone for? You know, no one wants to talk about that. You know,
I'll take it one step further, Barry. I think in North America, specifically the United States and Canada, it is a function of the tail wagging the dog on search and YouTube. So you take something that's already popular, and that will make you more money if you have a larger built-in audience of people who want to see videos about that product. So when another product comes around, like a OnePlus, a Pixel, or a Sony, or a Motorola, it is an opportunity to make another Samsung video and tell a Samsung audience that they did well for buying a Samsung product. And Google rewards that cycle with better search and better SEO, better suggestions for people looking at different trending topics. And that's what so many of these videos kind of apparently become. It's not really a review of a Pixel. It's a video that tells you why you were right to not buy the Pixel and why you should have gotten a Samsung or an iPhone. And that's, I see trends like that happening in other regions around the world, but you can kind of pick your poison. In some regions, that topic might be a Xiaomi, and Google is perfectly happy to make sure YouTube is fronting that region with Xiaomi videos. Correct. In the UK, it could be, I mean, you even still see traction on Huawei to a degree in some of those regions in the same way. But really, this is just a popularity contest, and we kind of learned that the hard way with the Surface. When consumers started searching more for the Surface 3 Pro, suddenly that was when the Surface was good enough to be recommended like a laptop for consumers. It was only because YouTube creators were making more money on Surface videos that they started liking the Surface better. And right now, because of the carrier infrastructure in the United States, it's unlikely that a third player smartphone manufacturer is going to rise up in the next 2 years so that they'll get those kinds of, you know, sort of given positive review videos here in the United States. The only company that can really do it is Google. They're the only company that can put the marketing behind a product to get consumers interested enough to search for it, so then tech reviewers will see the audience, and then they'll have nicer things to say about Pixels. We just have to see if Google has the fortitude to spend that much money losing for the next couple of years to make that happen.
That's what scares me about Google's position. Is you have all this negative, right? And you have the pressure to be perfect, right? So I think this launch will be easy, right? Because there's not much radically change, right, between the devices. But the pressure is, so let's say, for instance, Google comes out with the Pixel 7, just fast forward 8, 9, 10, right? And they have they have phone that's like outclassing stuff, but they still have this group that is playing this game, this SEO game of we're going to down the device because it's a OnePlus, it's a Pixel, it's a Xiaomi, it's something I can't deem. I have to somehow turn the conversation back. I can say this, the only video I was disappointed with Mr. Who's the Boss. I watch him when he does any of the new phones. I want to see what he thinks. Was his Xiaomi 12S Ultra video, because he was like the first one to get it, and it was a Samsung video. He literally had it and was like, this is why you should get the Samsung. This is why you get the whole time. Like, dude, this is the first time I'm seeing the device. I don't want to see the Samsung. I want to see you out there filming like you normally do, taking photos. Let me hear how the audio sounds. All that's what I want to see, because it's a new device. I don't need a comparison. You're the first video out here.
Do you think Google is actually really trying to chase a dream of being a top dog for smartphones, though? If you look at the history of their products, they've always had a steady flow of good products, but unfortunately, you do have these same people who create this narrative, just like the narrative for tonight, and people don't think for themselves. They just don't know. They believe everything that they see on the news. They believe everything that's put on the internet. They just believe everything to the point to where it just supersedes reality. Google phones, like the way people trash the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro and the 6A, the 5A is a phenomenal device in my humble opinion. But people trashed all these phones, like you were saying earlier, like Eric was saying, the tech gods and stuff like that. But as soon as Apple brings the same product, it's just why I can see why this exists and stuff like that. But I don't know that Google is even paying attention to what Apple is doing to the extent that to the way the people who follow tech creators. Like there's a group of tech creators that people follow just blindly. No matter what they say, people just believe them. And I don't think Google even cares. I don't think Google is trying to make their mark with the smartphone world, because who has the biggest search engine? It's not Bing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see.
So, I mean, from a lot of different places. But I do believe that they have good products. It's the marketing. If they're not putting a lot of money into their marketing, well, that goes to show what they feel about it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, but they are. They dumped a ton of money into the Pixel 6, and it sold significantly better than any previous generation of Pixel phones. But, no, I think to your point though, Jay, I always think it's sensitive. Like when we talk about Samsung, when we talk about Google, it's really easy for us to hold this conversation as if they're like Mr. Samsung, and it's this one person that has this company, and they've got designs for this company. Google is the best example of an amorphous blob of tiny pockets of power within a massive organization that has very poor managerial leadership. There is no Google, right?
They created
and if you
shut it down like 6 months later, like, wait, I like
for sure,
you know.
For sure.
I really like
and
like,
when you talk to the Pixel hardware team, they are kind of compartmentalized away from like the search business and from the services business and everything else.
Right?
Well, a bunch of them were so they got Moto Skunk Works, and then they had the HTC design team.
Yeah, the HTC design team.
Yeah. So when you kind of carve all those up, I've had so many amazing experiences with the Google hardware division, from working with them on the Team Pixel events, from even doing some hosting with them and some consulting on some of their audio products. I've had miserable experiences with a lot of the software and services team, especially on the YouTube side. Google is not this one thing, and they kind of work against each other. It's like Microsoft back in the late 90s. Like they'd circle the wagons and then they'd point all the guns on the inside of the circle of the wagons. I just always kind of feel like we need to be careful. Man, Google doesn't even care. There are people that are doing some of the most amazing hardware work in the world, and they care passionately about what's going on with the Pixel. It's just they don't run the search engine business and they don't run the YouTube business. And there's no vertical for them like there is for Apple.
I don't think Google will get to a place like, because Google spends a lot of money on marketing, but not like Samsung and Apple. Nowhere near it.
Nah.
So that's why you see like everybody thinks the iPhone is the best, or you know, when you say Android, people say Samsung. Like the fact that Google gave Samsung features that their own phones didn't have first, it doesn't make any sense. Why does Gmail work better on an iPhone? Because the developers get paid more? I mean, what's the reason? So it's pathetic, but it really is so.
It's true. No, it's totally true.
It's sad, but I think Google's products are top notch. But unfortunately, I think in the creator world, we run into a situation where I'll say we, even though I don't watch a lot of these people out here, I follow them, and basically, but some people just believe everything they say. So if the Pixel 7 Pro comes out, right, and I think at this point, this is generation 2, right, for the processor.
Generation 2,
yeah, right?
Gen 2,
right.
But even though we know the Gen 1 processor, didn't they tweak the Gen 1 processor in the 6A? Didn't they do it a little bit?
No,
I don't think so. I think what it is just the 6A benefited from all the fixes, right? So it launched with a later version of the OS and all that stuff, and it's been smooth.
It runs flawless.
It's smooth, yes, yeah, flawless.
So I mean, when the 7 Pro drops, and if a few people say that they don't like it, we all know what's going to happen. Regardless,
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I do remember.
We know they will. It's not if some people say it. We know when people say they don't like the phone.
Yeah, Eric was back against the wall. What year? Eric?
Yes.
2017 or 16, somewhere around there. And I say we were backed against the wall because I was flooded with what so and so said it was bad, and so my comment section was full of stuff like that. And I'm thinking, but did you buy it though? I mean, just go and buy it. Don't really worry about what the other person said. I respect those people. Again, we've met them all in person, so we know they're nice people for the most part. But again, that voice. So when the 7 Pro drops, and it just takes 1 or 2 people to say it's bad, what's going to happen to that trickle down effect? Like, what's really going to happen?
Or it doesn't even need to be bad. I bet you a major talking point. Well, it's not much different than the Pixel 6 Pro. That's going to be it. They should have taken more risks, even though last year when they took a bunch of risks,
it's so different that it blows my mind.
So listen, but I just want to say this. A lot of people that follow this live stream know at the top of the hour, we always open up the phone line. The phone been ringing off the hook non-stop since the top of the hour. So what I'm going to do is I got one super chat in here. I'm going to play the super chat song, and I'm going to put the phone number up because obviously people want to ask y'all guys questions while we have the big dogs in the building.
Oh my God.
We open up the phone lines so people could ask y'all guys some questions. But let's go on to do the 10 hut right quick, and thank you very much for the super chat. For the $5 holler. All right, so the phone number is live. If y'all guys want to call in and voice your opinion or give your opinion, I'm getting text messages from people. Wow. Listen, I just did it and somebody called. All right, let's see. All right. Yo, you live. Who is this?
Hi, this is Tom. I want to thank Juan for his coverage on the Samsung products, but it predates my phones. And what I'm watching out for is the bulging that I'm getting on the back end. So I think that's a good indication of me wanting to replace the battery. But, a good rule of thumb, I guess, is to never leave it plugged in when it's on. That's pretty much what you would conform to.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you don't have to, if your battery is already charged to 100%, I don't think you need to leave it on the charger.
No. Okay. And when it comes to LG, I think why it's a hit for you with the LG V60 is because 2 years ago, that was a 7 nanometer design, and it has a big battery while only facilitating 60 hertz. So it's resourceful. So I think that's why it's a hit for you. However, I don't think the company had that branch surviving for very long because most of the phones they were putting out at that time were of the 12 nanometer fabrication design. So there you might have a real cost for changing the infrastructure in the plant.
Well, I think I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to tell you the problem with LG is that, remember, only tech enthusiasts know about nanometer processors and stuff like that, right? So let's make sure we understand that part. Second part is that while Samsung and Apple every time you turned on the internet and the TV, you saw the commercials. Samsung, LG wasn't doing that. LG didn't tell anybody about their new displays. They didn't market about their Quad Dex. They didn't talk about their pen support and the pen software. They didn't talk about a lot of aspects of that device. So people didn't know nothing about the phone. Ain't nothing about an LG V6. They thought it was because remember, the LG G5 got slammed by tech reviewers, right? They got destroyed by tech reviewers. So when the LG G6 came, but the V60 came out, it was no way that people would buy that device. It was up to LG to change the narrative because when the LG V60 came out, it got slammed.
It got slammed again, yeah.
But 60 hertz displays, right?
And 1080p screen.
And 1080p displays with everybody else was 1440p and
call
going
it a
120
mid-range
hertz.
phone.
It's right. They call it a mid-range phone. And so what LG did was they didn't come back. They didn't say anything. They just let everybody destroy them. That is the problem.
And that's what my thing with Google is. LG, you saw for years that you were giving it to certain people that would take your flagship phone, one of the best phones made that, well, might have been the best phone made that year, and call it a mid-range. And the thing is, you saw that on the, why give it to those people? Let them go and put their own skin in the game, buy it to trash your phone. Don't send it to them.
Yep. All right, I'm going to let you go. I got another caller coming in. Thank you very much for calling in.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Yo, you're live. Hello?
What's up, Easy? Hello, Easy.
Yeah. Hey. Who's this?
This is Urban. How you doing?
Hey.
Urban Fire in the building.
In the building. All right. What's your
Kings
thought?
and Queen, how y'all doing?
Kings and Queens. There you go. All right.
So,
what's up, Urban
I
Fire?
have a question. Since y'all all, I got the super smart panel on right now. I wanted to know how much money of advertisement do you think is going to take Google to kick out to jump up top with Samsung and Apple?
Oh, they won't.
Yeah, that's
impossible. Samsung as a brand spends over $10 billion a year just on marketing. They're the number 2 now. They fell behind all of the combined brands of Procter & Gamble. So look up Procter & Gamble and look at every single company that is under that umbrella. And then Samsung by themselves spends almost as much money as that conglomerate.
That's a lot
of
money.
Google would have to spend... Again, Samsung probably spends more on marketing for the company than Google does for their entire phone manufacturing operation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for calling. All right.
I actually did kind of feel smart on that one. Like I had those numbers memorized.
Right.
All right. That's what I'm saying. So shout out to everybody that's texting me. And I just want to remind people that this. Here we go. Yo, you're live.
What's up, fam, bam?
What up? What is?
Man, it's we at Samsung.
Yep.
There you go. We got the Samsung representative in the building. What's up?
What's up, man? Hey, I was calling you, E. Today you made me realize something. Cause I'm rocking the Fold 4 now, and so when you was having that problem, I switched when I did my switching over. I was having the same problem that you was having.
Yeah.
Except for mine wasn't flashing like yours.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that's a software issue or what.
So for everybody that did watch my video, I would encourage you to watch my video I dropped today. And it was some of the detrimental issues that I'm having with my Galaxy Z Fold 4. Now, even though I don't like Facebook, but for some strange reason, a lot of my YouTube character people like to inbox me on Facebook. So I came to the realization that Facebook has been an audience for me. And not only that, but my trucking company is all on Facebook also. So now I utilize Facebook with Facebook Messenger, right? So on my Z Fold 4, and I can demonstrate that for y'all guys here live on my Z Fold 4, and here, when you click up top and go to Messenger to see my Messenger, and I believe yes, I deleted it. Okay, so I deleted it, and I reinstalled it, and I haven't installed it back. But what was going on? And it was going haywire. It was going crazy, with flashing and all kind. So I deleted Messenger, which I have to reinstall it because I use it all the time. But yeah, that was a problem I've had, and also YouTube. But look, somebody inboxed me and they told me a way to fix it. By the way, all right.
Yeah, but why is it going to that split screen?
That's something that I don't know. It forces split screen, and I don't know the answer to that question. For some strange reason, when you open up YouTube, Facebook Messenger, it forces the Z Fold 4 to go into a split screen. I don't know. What
was it again, Eric? When you open up what?
Facebook Messenger.
I don't use Facebook.
Yeah,
you posted that on Twitter, right? Didn't you put that on Twitter?
Meiji did.
Okay, I knew somebody. I saw it on the Twitter feed.
Yeah, so it forces the Z Fold into split screen without you even activating it. So it's something that's definitely software related. But
Eric,
I believe it's
I got a solution to your problem.
What?
Go ahead. I know where you're going.
Get an import.
Total.
Get an import.
My messenger works just fine, sir.
No lie detected.
Yes.
Hey, Jay Will, how you liking that fold?
Love it. It's been great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fold is good. I got a video I'm dropping in my members only chat tonight. It's me and the Evil Twin, and y'all gonna love it because the Evil Twin he backs up the fold, so yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. It's a fun one. It took me.
All right.
So
hey Barry, you being safe out there, man?
Being safe, man. Everything's good. Yeah, I should know around 2 a.m. what we're dealing with.
Question is, Photo D, are you being safe, sir?
Yes.
We all know what we all know what that means.
I gotta go.
I got a couple more weeks, man.
Okay, brother. I need you to stay safe.
All right.
I appreciate you calling in, Chief.
All right.
Bye. Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, man, I think what has to happen is people that follows YouTube content creators, they need to separate us from them because they hit our channels and they say, well, so-and-so say this and so-and-so say that. And I'm like, okay, well, that's
how
fine.
about this, Eric? View people as human beings. Nobody is God-like or anything like that. We are people.
I know, but people don't believe. Listen,
people make mistakes. People
I know, but
lie.
when you get 200 comments a day, you got 40% of those comments referring you to other people's channels because they made a video, and and I know Jay Will and why y'all could protest to this because y'all probably get way more comments than me. But
we've all seen it on our channels as small as I am. I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I smile and say, "Have a great day. Thanks for watching." And in my mind, I'm giving them one of these, and I keep it pushing.
Oh wow.
Pretty much.
I think the most excited device that I am anticipating on, and it's the Pixel 7. Oh man, I can't wait for that phone.
I thought he was gonna see V70.
No, obviously the V70. But I did say I would put a lot of money on the line to get that rollable.
We've already had that discussion.
I will. I absolutely.
2,500.
No, that was the number we threw out. That was the number.
That was the number.
I'm sure it's gonna be way more than that.
It's gonna be way more than that.
But
what
that's
are you talking about?
Talk about the LG rollable,
that rollable phone, that LG,
that rollable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, LG.
Are they gonna release it though?
No, they not.
No.
And that's why it's gonna be so.
That was a rhetorical question, by the way. I know they're not gonna release it. I definitely know they're not gonna release it.
I would love to be the one of a handful of people to have that phone.
I wouldn't get
it.
You're gonna have to pay, player.
Yeah,
I pay for it.
Yeah.
If I want it.
The thing, I don't understand that. I still don't. Here we go again. You got a problem, man.
He paid retail for the phone, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You tell me I got a problem. Look at these two gentlemen right there. You say I got a problem.
Hey, I could be. If my brother gets on the line, he'll probably say I have a problem.
Jay, don't you
I
get
don't
this
know.
down?
The one thing about Jay and Juan, they get a variety of phones now.
I get a variety.
Yeah.
You have a variety, but you're not getting a variety anymore. They
Not
still
anymore.
get a variety.
You have a variety of the same phones.
Yes.
No one buys
different
Different
colorways are not not different phones.
It's not the same. It's not a different phone, sir.
Sometimes you want different colors.
No, sir.
Sometimes you want
No,
different
sir.
colors.
Buy a case.
Sometimes you
Buy
want
a
the
case.
same color.
Yeah, it sounds like
Buy
you
a
need to go.
case.
You need to hit up Technically
Let me
T's
tell you
channel.
something.
He got a case for you.
Don't you have two wings? Are your two wings the same color?
You have to admit that the LG Wing is the most innovative device.
That has nothing to do
Oh
with
my
you having
God.
Zero, man.
That is
Come on, man.
Easy. It's a great
item.
phone.
A collectible item.
But I would challenge you to have a 12S Ultra in your hand and taking photos, and you're just like, this is
Barry, you won't do
the
it.
not most innovative,
That's why it's the most boring camera I've ever seen. This V60 here.
Wanted sensors? Who would have thought of something so crazy?
V60.
Where they do that at?
Right. Not him. This V60
That
is going to be what's going on in 2025.
Hey, listen, man. LG go support this device and go get Android.
No, they're
13. It's
not,
good.
sir. No, they're not.
Listen,
They're gonna get cut
all
off.
Wait, let's make sure we understand. My V60 is more up to date than my Galaxy S22 Ultra and my Z Fold, by the way. All right, it's more up to
Shame on
date.
Samsung. Shame on Samsung.
But
But we're talking about a 2-year-old phone here, right?
Oh,
Hang on, GG, I got
a 2-year-old phone. They got September security patch, right? I don't
Alexa.
even have that on my Ultra.
Alexa, remind me to have Eric miss me with this bullshit.
Right, there you go. Right.
But I'm just
Right.
saying, though,
That part.
Jay, think about this. You,
Thank you.
Don't be
Galaxy
trying to beg
S22
for Jay to reason with
Galaxy
you. He don't buy the
S22
same phone
Ultra.
twice.
Galaxy S22 Ultra go cost you upper tiers of, if you get the 512 or whatever, $1,400, right? You got a V60 that costs $250 that's more up to date than a flagship that costs $1,400. What's wrong with that? It's a problem with that, right?
I mean, you can get a brand new
time.
V60 for $230 right now.
Yes, yes.
Right. The problem is
Borrowed
the regular consumers aren't checking for that. They're blinded by financing their phone.
Nobody checking for that.
Getting on a
Borrowed
carrier. So they're not really interested in going to eBay or maybe Amazon,
Right.
but Amazon's going to be marked up another $100 or $200.
No,
Yes,
it's
they
on
are.
Amazon. It's on
Definitely get 'em.
Amazon.
We don't want
Sean,
renewed
right.
ones, Barry. I mean,
Sean,
Easy.
You call him.
It's a great phone.
Sean, so let me describe what buying that V60 like. Like buying that V60
Go ahead, sir.
is like me eating bacon right now. I could do it.
And we know you got them bad guts.
I got them bad guts. I could do it. The problem is,
But that doesn't mean it's going to be a good. It's not going to be a good result.
It's
not going to
helping
be a good
easy.
result at all.
This
I
is
like
not
that white
helping
case.
easy.
brother.
That's a.
I hope all of
the
those
dual
batteries
case,
are
that
well.
dual case, you got that white case.
All of those batteries are great because they're LGs.
Okay.
So yeah, that was just for Steve saying no guy has 10 LG phones. And I still have 7 more over on the bookshelf. So that's just what I had.
Steve don't understand. Steve
Shout out to
don't
Sound
real
Raising
reason?
me
LG
back.
departed,
He don't
though. What's the real
understand.
reason
Shout out,
LG departed? Why would LG, a good company like LG, just like
Shout out to
BlackBerry,
Sound Wave.
why give up on a good thing?
Wow, that's a V20. No, that.
Oh, it's the red leatherback
Yeah, that's the
G4.
leatherback.
Oh,
That's a G4.
Right. There you go.
Beautiful.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
All you doing is turning them on, Juan. You better stop it.
Oh yeah.
I know, right?
Well,
So you doing?
I do check in on the G4 just to make sure it doesn't start boot looping on me. But this is still on the original launch battery, so I'm still doing all right.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Ted, you say all we had is time. If I did that, all I'd have was about 7 minutes.
Oh, yep. There we go. Look at that. Now, the S6 under my desk, which came out the same year, is basically a bomb now, but my LG is still doing okay. So
Beautiful.
it's hanging in there.
Beautiful.
It's real pretty.
What is it?
Terrible UI, but it was a great phone.
What is it,
They
Velvet?
got a headphone jack on that thing, huh?
Beautiful.
Right?
Nice.
Little trip down memory lane. Sorry.
I mean, man, that was the days.
Jay Will, I want to ask Jay Will a question if that's possible.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It just is out of my. This is just way away from what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Why was this phone never, ever updated?
What is that?
Which one is
that?
it?
Oh, okay.
I can't see it's a reflection of your light.
Oh no, that's a
I can help you.
ZTE Axon.
That's a great
Axon
that's
10.
the ZTE joint. That's a great phone. I got mine over there too, but the company, man, failed. They don't. I mean, they brought out the Axon M. It was a missed opportunity.
Axon.
It sure was. I still have mine.
It was a missed. I got it
murdered
from over
one.
there way too soon. Missed opportunity. Just like I was saying earlier, why would LG, such a great company like LG, depart? Like, why give up on you know what I'm saying? And I don't know the real. None of us can really answer like why, they stopped or why they gave up. But it's a mystery to people who actually know that LG products were good, and then BlackBerry was good too.
Seppian, I need an explanation for that.
I mean,
Yep.
I think what happened with LG is that, again, it goes back to what we said
I need an
before.
explanation.
When I had the LG V6 when I first got it, and the dude case, I didn't know it had pin support because the company never, even when they had the keynote address, they ain't even speak about it. The whole keynote address was about the cameras and the design. They didn't talk about anything else. They didn't talk about some of the major things. Why did they want to talk about pin support? They could have went against Samsung, right? Why not?
No. Sean, what's the title of your Motorola? What's the model number, or what's the model name?
It's the Moto Edge Plus 2022, and
The
that
Moto
Juan made
Edge
me
Plus
buy.
22.
That's a good phone.
That Scoop, Juan, and Sean has pin support easy.
That's a good
and it
phone.
has ready for, which a lot of people says
Yeah,
is better than
show
Dex.
Show it off on. Yeah.
That's a good phone.
Ooh, look at
That
that.
Motorola is a good phone.
Sweet.
It's a good phone.
Motorola.
But again, it comes down to marketing. Why isn't Motorola, like Eric, you was saying earlier, why aren't they talking about it?
Yeah, because Eric don't have one. That's why. We
No.
don't got YouTubers that will buy and talk
Like
about it.
marketing and why people don't do it for LG
Sorry.
and
me
Motorola
kick
is
it.
doing the same thing. They're not talking about it.
Explain your comparison.
Yeah,
Seppian.
Motorola's not talking. That's a
Explain
beautiful device, man.
Beautiful.
That
I
is
love it.
beautiful.
It's a great phone. I want to thank Juan and not thank Juan, but yeah, I thank Juan. Thank you, my friend.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Motorola.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you, man.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you, my friend.
I
I do. It's
told
a
you.
I mean, like,
damn
tell-
good phone, man.
But I mean, like, I didn't feel conflicted recommending that phone on its sort of initial sale, which was like $100 off. But if you missed out on a $499 Edge Plus, like,
Yeah, it's great.
it's just like a monster option. And again, it just brings that other kind of difference and nuance to the conversation. I really wish the more mainstream tech conversation wasn't so focused on the singular idea of gooder and badder. Because you pick up a phone like the Motorola and you like, oh, there are definitely some weak spots here, but it's doing other things that like these other mainstream devices aren't even attempting. And we really need to look at phones like the back of a Transformers box, like speed, power, endurance, wisdom, leadership. It's like you should have a chart of different kind of vibes, and that would, I think, help a lot of people kind of hone in on the exact right fit for their needs, as opposed to, but someone said Samsungs are gooder. And you're like, yeah, they are in some ways. But like, that's not one score. There's not like the gooder viability score of betterer phones. It's like, do you want battery life? Do you want horsepower? Do you want desktop modes? Do you want stylus support? Do you want cameras and content creation? Like, there's so many of these other rankings that we can kind of discuss with those shades of gray. And a Moto is, I mean, again, I put up Moto and Sony as these two companies that are doing something really unfamiliar if you're used to the conversation only being Samsung v Apple.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? When we talk about the SEO, we talk about Samsung. I mean, they got high-ranking videos right now. That's all they talk about, the S23 Ultra right now. I mean, I've seen nothing but my timeline is being filled right now with S23 Ultra videos.
We got to find out about it. We got to find out about that.
You know,
but I think like Tech Love and Mama made a good point earlier. I think a lot of these companies just don't capitalize on what's good or what is working for them if they're not making the bread. Because the Moto Mods was fantastic. I still got my Moto Mod. That was one of the best things I think they did.
The JBL speaker? Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It was
dropped
awesome.
the ball on it.
Drop the ball.
I love the Moto Mod.
So you use the Edge Plus and it's got Ready For, and you're like, this is incredible. Ready For is a step ahead of what makes Dex such an amazing compute platform. How come I don't have a Moto Mod where I can dock my Ready For phone into the trackpad of a laptop case with just magnets and have it charge the phone up, and the phone's going to power this laptop Ready For experience. And then when I'm done with it, I pop the phone out, and my phone's charged up and ready to go and ready to be used as a phone again.
When that came about, remember the tablets?
And we missed Moto Mods doing something really radical like that.
Yeah, remember they did that before, like when you put the phone in the back of the tablet, and it was like a blank slate in the phone.
Yeah, Matrix.
Tablet. Those were all great ideas. I just think that the world just wasn't ready for it. And then when they marked the pricing on them, they put them too high at the time because they think it's so innovative, which it is. But then, you know, when we are ready, like we're ready for that right now. I would love to slide the phone into a larger display and, you know, give me one less thing I need to purchase. But people have moved on to that from that because we now have folding devices that flip open into tablets and things like that. But those were all really good ideas. Moto Mods was one of the best. I think Motorola did a fantastic job with that. And LG was making the tablets, right? The phone sliding to the tab. Wasn't that LG, right?
So Asus was the big one for the phone pad and the transformer tablets.
Yeah. I just think those were all great ideas, man, way ahead of their time. Because now we can make phones really thin. We can have them real thin. So then we can also have really thin tablets. So this would be a great opportunity to take like a 8-inch tablet screen or whatever, have that nice phone slide into the back of it and go. It could avoid a lot of it.
And it's such, and nice you're right, because it was such a huge missed opportunity when we had the magnetic interface to proper. It was already out in consumers' hands.
Yeah,
it was the manufacturing was already done, the R&D was already done, and we just didn't take it that one step further. So we had speaker docks and battery packs.
Laptops too.
Cool.
Remember they did the laptop.
But
remember they did the laptop when you put the phone in it too.
Yeah.
They did all that, and it's gone. But if they bring it back, it's gonna have to be done right.
Yeah. Well, I think what happened was
actually something we could use.
I think what happened was when the Asus phone was out with the dock, they priced it over a Chromebook, and I think a lot of people would say, "Well, just get a Chromebook, right?
Yeah.
Because why get this? You go pay $399 for the laptop dock, and the Chromebook you can get a good Chromebook for $399."
And the Chromebook outperformed it.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
At the time, that was rough.
The Chromebook curb stomped it. So at the time. So
nowadays, that conversation is flipped.
It's
hard.
They was going against the Chromebook, right? If they could sell the dock at like $199 or something like that, then maybe they had a chance. But with all that innovation in it, they couldn't sell it for $199.
Yeah.
They would have to go up to the $400 price.
A lot of missed opportunities.
Like
It's tricky because I've got a bunch of laptop docks behind me. I'm a big fan of the Next docks. Barry, I promise you, I am sending you that Next dock whenever I can make it to the post office. I'm sorry. So there's a certain diminishing returns. Like if you put a nice screen into a nice chassis with a good battery and all the I/O, the controllers for having like a laptop hub, you really can't beat $300 right now in the current slate of manufacturing at the scale that you're going to make these, because you're not going to make a lot. You're not going to make nearly as many of these docks as you will proper laptops. You can't outcompete Chromebook just price to price.
Yeah.
You can get a full computer for like $350, but I guarantee you that full computer will not be as powerful as a nice premium or mid-ranger tier phone. And then the laptop dock can be used for anything else. So I can plug it into my Steam Deck, I can plug it into a Nintendo Switch, I can plug it into a camera, I can use it as a second display for a proper laptop, and there's only a battery in there for me to fix. So I've got my second generation Next dock, it's still going strong, it's going to be a couple screws if I ever decide I want to replace the battery. There's no way a $300 Chromebook would be hanging today. So I've got hardware that has now stayed out of a landfill. It doesn't have extra compute guts. It doesn't have all this unnecessary BS. And every single time I plugged a new phone into it, my laptop has gotten more powerful, whereas that Chromebook would have just been aging and getting dustier and basically just be e-waste now. So you got to pay up front. It is more expensive for less stuff, but it's a purpose-built tool that will accessorize and last you way longer than a cheap student Chromebook. So I'm a big fan of that, but you've got to really think where that money's going. Right. And if you've got other gadgets, use them with other gadgets. You don't just have to use it with the phone too.
And I think that's what, when we talk about, these type of things, and these are the things that I like to talk about, and it's just one of those things that I think a lot of people need to, and we broaden our horizon. We make tech videos. We talk about, next stock, like you talk about it, Juan, and we talk about, I know I make a lot of videos about monitors and stuff like that. And, those are the things that's needed, especially for, college students and stuff like that. Instead of going by a computer, you got a computer in your pocket. Think about this. And this is one of the things that I always express to people when people hit me up and talk about nobody. Listen, I had somebody, and they may be in the comments, and you might get upset with me when I say that. I really don't care. When you hit my comments and you come after me about Dex, you better be ready. You better be ready for a comeback.
I think they are ready for. I think they are ready for.
No, people, listen, man. I always get some people hit me in the comments and say, "Oh, nobody don't use Samsung Dex," and especially a business owner. And I'm like, "Well, I own 3 businesses. What you talking about? So you mean I don't? I'm not in that category? I don't understand. I mean, I use Samsung Dex all the time, and it works great for me. The way I have it set up in my office, I just absolutely love when I walk in my office and I click a button and I got Samsung Dex pop up on my monitor. I got my wireless keyboard and mouse, and I'm doing my payroll, getting all my business stuff done. And I mean, it's just so easy, so simple. It works. And then I take it and put it in my pocket and I go about my business.
But this is also why I've kind of come to this conclusion, and I've leaned my channel even harder into someone who only wants to be shown what they're already familiar with is never going to find any entertainment value out of my channel. I've seen firsthand from some of my family members, and then also from some of the communities that my family comes from. You can find, like, I've got a cousin. My nephew was issued this really garbage school laptop. He lives out in rural New Mexico. His family can't afford to buy him gear, but they scrimped and they saved. And a year into the pandemic, they bought him a Galaxy S10. So I showed him how he could take the old busted family computer that didn't work anymore and plug his S10 into a keyboard and a mouse and an old monitor. And he suddenly had a more powerful computer than what his school issued him on that old S10. Yes. So I have zero patience. I have zero chill for someone's like, oh, who's going to do blah, 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 blah. We have been overselling and overbuying compute power in phones since the Snapdragon 835. Like, if we're not helping people get more out of these gadgets in a time where economically so many families are hurting, and they probably already own the solutions to their problems, and they just don't know that last little step to get them there. I have zero patience for any of those comments. Those people get muted. So
Steve said, I kind of want to see a teacher use Dex. Why? Why don't you use Dex, sir? Why are you waiting on other people to use Dex? That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I see this all the time. People, these are the comments that I get.
I don't think Steve. I don't think that's what Steve means. I think what Steve means is someone who's in a position where he could influence the younger generation. Right. Not someone needs to teach me how to use Dex. I think you're just kind of flipping.
He wants to see like an actual teacher, how they would apply Dex
with students.
In the classroom. With students is what he's saying.
Here we go. We got another phone call coming in. Yo, you're live. Who's this?
Yeah, this is the Norwegian Angel, Ivan.
Hey, Ivan, how's it going? Ivan. What up, Ivan? I appreciate you.
I just want to say something about the Dex. I think I wrote this in one of your comments. I travel a lot back and forth to a hospital in another place in Norway. I don't bring my laptop anymore. I use Dex.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it's for.
I use Dex. I don't have any need for a laptop anymore. The last few years.
And the thing about it is, when people come to complain about Dex is not, a PC replacement or something like that. Here's my question to them: what do you use your computer for?
Right.
That's
that
the
part.
thing.
That part.
I go online. Okay. I search the web. Okay. I go on social media. Okay.
Yeah. It's like Chrome isn't a Windows replacement. Linux isn't a Windows replacement. It's such a tired argument.
I always ask people, name something you do on your PC that I can't do on Dex.
If you're not coding, there's no reason to have a conversation. If you're not coding,
what's the percentage of people coding?
Right, that part.
Actually, I've got two guys in my Discord that code on Dex on an S22 and on a Z Fold. So I actually do have two software developers at their entire development. And if you go to the Samsung Dex subreddit, one of the main guys who moderates that subreddit does tons. I mean, we're talking like lives his life out of Dex, and he's a software developer, and he's doing high-level work on Dex. I mean, the argument is so unimaginative, and it's so tired now that techies... I mean, again, I hold tech enthusiasts who watch videos on YouTube to that higher standard, because I'm not even trying to talk to average consumers. It's someone who lacks that imagination to be able to say, oh yeah, there are actually a bunch of use cases where I could totally leave Windows behind, or I could totally leave Mac OS behind, but they won't even like take that one little step in imagination. Zero patience. I'm not going to sit here and try and play with that person.
Zero patience. You want no patience, sir?
Hey, so let me ask you a question.
So that's what I bring.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're too lazy to be rigid, so.
No. What you gonna say?
I just about to ask you, what time is it in your time zone, sir?
I think it's
almost 5 a.m.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow. Listen, I appreciate you watching us every Wednesday. Every Wednesday you come through and you watch us, and I know it'd be 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and I do appreciate that.
Can I say to him right quick? I appreciate him commenting on my last video, but I can't respond to it. It won't let. YouTube is doing its thing again.
Oh wow!
But I saw it.
That was a very good video, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, listen, we appreciate that.
Very good.
And you know what? One of the reasons why us content creators, we do this is because our YouTube channels revolves around people that want to seek knowledge, that have an open mind, that want to understand that we here for them as a teaching moment, right? And not just to rush after the clicks and stuff like that. It ain't. What we do is for the people. Like my channel is for the people, and I always emphasize.
Yeah, that's what I like.
And,
that's what
up,
I like
LB?
about you guys is,
what's good, y'all?
You guys, you are more down to earth than the big ones.
Well, I mean, I understand that the big channel's been around a lot longer than us, but at the end of the day, it's up to the people to know the difference.
What are you talking about? Those big channels ain't been around nearly as long as Jay and I have been.
Yeah,
we're tired. We're so tired.
What are you talking about, son?
Yeah, they've been around. We could put them guys in a museum right now.
So I got to finally meet up with Jay for the first time in like years.
Yeah, TCL event.
We shared a breakfast, and we were spending that whole breakfast just going like, man, we've been doing this so long.
Yep.
I have like coffee and a yogurt. I've got some eggs. Oh God, I'm so tired.
Juan, how long has TK Bay been doing it? Do you know?
I appreciate you calling in.
TK's been in almost as long as I have. He started hardcore in the forums on XDA.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
so he started out just So he started just like as like a forum personality that people came to recognize
in XDA forums. That's why I remember him most. And then I saw his channel come about, so I thought he actually worked for XDA at one point.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
So he was doing so much work in their forums that he started writing, and then I think he was the main video contributor for like 3 years.
Yeah, he
just
was heavy
all
over there.
All on him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was heavy on XDA. That's when I first started following him on XDA forums and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a long time, man. It doesn't.
It's been a
seems
strange
like it, but
trip.
it doesn't seem like it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm still having fun though. I'm still having fun.
Yeah. I mean, again, you drag me out when I'm getting too cranky, but I'm actually gonna have to take a bounce here. It's time to go sing bedtime songs to the little ones. So.
Man, I appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate you letting me jump in and be the cranky ranting guy. But seriously, I just want to leave this off, and because I know your audience, and I've been in the chats on all of your channels, and for anyone who's catching the stream right now, we need to be the good tech neighbors more than ever before. So the big thank you that you probably don't get from your own family and friends, I'm sure everyone in this chat would extend that thank you to you being a good resource, a reliable resource, a consistent resource for helping those around you out when probably a lot of folks around you are too proud to ask for real help. So keep doing the good work, and you know that you always have friends here to help out too.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Juan. Have a good night.
Catch y'all later.
Bye,
Juan. See, one day I'm gonna be like Jay Will and Juan back now. You know, them big guys, man. Them guys, man.
Here he go. Here you go, Jay. Here he goes.
Nope. Hey, earlier though, I did want to say you guys brought up Windows, but nobody's talking about the big update Windows just dropped. I use Mac predominantly, but I got a Windows laptop, like several Windows laptops. Did anybody else not get those huge updates?
I didn't do it. I'm on one right now.
Yeah, my Surface updated. My both of my Surfaces updated with huge updates, like OS updates.
Oh man, I gotta go check it out.
Say less.
Yeah,
you know what?
It just popped up on its own. When I plugged in, it automatically said, "Hey, you're eligible to go to this." It's like 11.22 or something. I forgot what it was, but the Surface has definitely got a huge update.
I'm running Macs, man, and Macs work good on my.
I love Mac.
Macs work good, man. You know.
Hey, I made a mistake, Jay.
11, by the way. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I made a mistake, Jay, and I went and it was a mistake. I gave my daughter my Surface book.
LB's in the E terminal.
Yeah, he got nicknamed.
He about to catch you a plane?
Yeah.
He's currently at Harry Reid International Airport. I know where he's at.
Yeah. Scoop left me up here all on my own. No, but
first and foremost, that's a lie.
No, he did me the same way.
No, but I was saying, Jay, I got that Galaxy. Well, I bought it from Tech Odyssey, the Galaxy Book Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I miss my Microsoft Surface Book so bad. That thing is a tinker toy compared to Microsoft.
Yeah, I never bought a Samsung laptop, but the Surface.
Don't do it.
After LB, I won't ever buy one.
No.
Hey, this has to be the worst. I just expect a lot more out of Samsung, especially for something that starts off at $1,400.
Yeah, I would expect a lot too.
You're getting.
Yeah, I expect to at least like the. I would expect to at least like the product.
Look, you get you.
You know what I'm saying? Can I just like it? Can we start with that baseline?
Look, you start off with a 1080p screen. This is Samsung.
LaShawn's favorite.
Look at Jay. Look at Jay.
A 1080p screen. I mean,
1080p.
1400.
Look,
Jay, I look for you to roll the glasses down like this.
Yeah.
And then you guys saw the webcam on the thing. It was terrible.
Yeah, the
horrible.
Potato cam.
Potato cam.
Horrible. And I took the thing out my book bag. I'm not hard on my stuff. I took it out my book bag. Every time I take it out my book bag, there's something else wrong with it. Like, it's got to be the softest aluminum I've ever. They use
get a Mac.
old.
Get a MacBook Pro.
Listen, they use old Pepsi cans to build these things.
Wow.
Get a MacBook Pro, man.
We can't help it. Get a
MacBook Pro. Get a Mac Mini, a MacBook Pro, or something like that.
I love the Surface. I'm getting me another Surface.
I have them both, but I still like the Macs for the performance, man. It's crazy. They just
well, you know, I'm not doing all the video editing and everything.
No. You know how many companies use Macs for? I mean, Macs are everywhere. Windows is still the foundation, but there's a lot of companies that are switching to Macs and iPads and stuff like that to do all their performance stuff. But you know, Windows isn't going anywhere. It's too much. It's too much. It's rooted in too many places and businesses. But I think we'll see a place at one point where Windows won't have that foundation, and they're gonna have like M1 iPads pretty much taking over everything. Because right now, in the football league, they still use Surfaces, right? Surface Goes.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna make a shift at one point once Apple can get it together.
Yeah,
they might
make a shift.
They might. Tom Brady
as much as the coaches
gotta put the money. Gotta put that money.
As they throw them around and break them all the time, because I see coaches
doing
things, man.
Maybe it'll take place when they start putting those games on Apple TV.
Look,
there you go, Kim. There you go, G.
See, I don't think it's going to happen, Jay, for the simple fact that I don't think a lot of companies want to buy fully into the Apple. The way Apple makes you buy fully into everything that they do, I think that's why companies won't totally go that route.
Yeah, Windows is still pretty much the foundation of everywhere, just about. Chromebooks taking off in schools, but I think if they do, I mean, from a personal note, I use both, but I was pro Windows for a long time, but then once I got a hold of a Mac and started really putting it through the paces, it's hard to go back to like a primary computing device for your needs. And I think you'd enjoy it, man. You already use an iPhone, right?
No, I mean I got a Mac. Jay, I bought the fully loaded. What is it? MacBook Pro 17-inch.
Okay.
Yeah, I think hardware wise, I'm just more impressed by Microsoft hardware.
The hardware is ridiculous. It's good.
Yeah.
The Surface laptops are premium.
I love my Surface laptop.
I love the Surface laptop. You know, I actually can edit on my Surface laptops. It's the rendering times, right?
Oh yeah.
When you render with a Surface, the processing power just isn't the same as using an M1 Pro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I have a question here. We have should I purchase an S22? Now,
no.
Is it S22?
If it's an S22, absolutely not.
Ultra? No, I wouldn't buy S22. The battery life is
you said
not
small,
that great.
The small one.
Yeah,
the
big one.
Yeah,
the small one. S22.
No. I bought mine and kicked it out.
Well, it all depends. If you can get it for a bucket in the bucket
and
a quarter.
No.
Yeah, if you get it for $200.
No, Eric, no. I mean, I don't care if it's a bucket and a quarter. No, Eric. No.
I buy it for a bucket and a quarter.
You will buy another LG wing, sir. We know this, sir. We already know what you'll do. We can't go by
anything.
This man is asking a legitimate question. No, sir, don't buy a 22.
No, we should not.
Well, it all depends.
Yes.
No, there is no ultra. Certain things you just shouldn't buy.
The Ultra, yes.
I mean, you're saying if somebody was selling a S22 brand new
I would buy it
for $250. You wouldn't buy it? I'll buy it. I think a lot of people buy it.
I could keep it plugged in, be a B-roll.
I mean, you gonna get 4 hours. You get at least 4 hours.
I got enough phones that I can do that. I don't need to do that, man. I would do it and sell it for $500 and flip it.
I buy it and sell it.
Look. No, I tell them to get it for $200, and then spend $150 on backup batteries because you're gonna need it.
Or get a battery case.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, or
get a battery case
like that.
Yeah, they got the zero limit. Zero limit, you good.
Get them a zero limit.
It's
a brick because you
don't need it. You need a backpack to carry your phone at that point.
Zero limit is like someone has to take on TK.
Zero limit, you go get 20 hours of screen on time.
Wrong.
You know,
you're wrong, Barry.
Wrong.
You're wrong.
Hey, I don't know if you saw that, Eric, but I wasn't a fan of Coolio, but respect, he passed away just
yes,
now.
he passed.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
That's not somebody I listened to, but still, he passed away. I heard him back in the day a couple times. But
also, we want to give our
shout out
to Coolio and the people in Florida. that's
Word.
going through the
Shout out to
devastation.
Frank down there, Ike down there.
Yeah.
My brother's down there.
Y'all stay safe down there, because listen, we down in Louisiana, man. We know about hurricanes.
I haven't looked at the path, but the path is supposed to go right over my house.
Oh man,
that's how it was like about a few hours. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you got to evacuate, man, you don't wait now.
Yeah, no, they'll let us know. They haven't said it yet. So
don't wait for the government, man. You gotta make your own decision, because that's what happened with Katrina. They waited till the last minute.
Yeah, they waited,
and people couldn't leave, man, and a lot of people didn't make it. So don't never rely on the government. If that hurricane was coming this way, I'd have been live streaming on the road.
What up?
We know.
On the road.
We know.
That's around, man. I'm on the road, man.
The hurricane behind me.
Hurricane
on my ass.
I'm not
But I'm
waiting
live.
for everybody to get on the road. I'm leaving 5 days before the hurricane even, hit, man. I'm gone, man. Look, the last hurricane
no one
was
gives
gone.
a shit about an S-22. It definitely with an Exynos. So you've lost your mind, sir. Nobody cares.
Oh no.
With an Exynos S-22, you're gonna make it even worse by having it with an Exynos.
Yeah, the Exynos is worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
nobody
Exynos
wants
is
that.
garbage.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Doodle. Don't do that. It's trash. Can't believe I can't believe you typed that out. I wouldn't have wasted my energy
But
typing
that's
that
Doodle, man. You know who Doodle is.
I do.
Dude, he is the Samsung representative. He goggles every night with Samsung toothpaste.
Hey man, you are getting too with that LG, my
I
friend.
wasn't quite sure where we were going with that.
Yeah.
We finished it with toothpaste, so we're okay.
I'm trying to be
Right.
a little more respectful, So I got Jay Will here, so I can't.
Oh, no,
say
his
what I
point
want to
though,
say.
what he's saying right now though is legit though. It's a nice upgrade.
Don't
from
get him
the
started,
S7.
Don't get him started.
No.
Jay.
Really?
Oh god.
Yeah.
I agree with his point right there though.
Every
I agree with
spec
that.
from every Samsung device that's ever existed, sir.
Man,
Don't feed the beast. Don't feed.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah, Jay,
man, we right at the
he
top of the
He'll tell you
hour.
how his Samsung washes his rear end. I mean,
Right.
He'd be one of the guys. If Samsung come out with a towel for $30, he'd be front in line. He'd be the first one.
You mean like the Apple rag?
Yeah, like the Apple towel. Yeah, the
Apple rag.
rag. Yeah, he'd be the first one.
he said his
Samsung
phone
make-
lasts him from Friday to Monday and still have 30% battery life.
He says that all the time. Yeah.
You can lie to us.
Yeah, you like that?
Look at Jay.
Look at Jay.
Pull the glasses up.
You
Look
can
at
lie
him.
to us.
So
Can't
that's
lie
why
to
we said
yourself.
we don't want to get him started.
Right. Because he
I don't know about that one.
pull out a whole bunch of it.
Mm-hmm.
a whole bunch of it. And it ain't good. We right at the
that's-
top of the
that's
hour.
funny.
I want to give a huge thanks to Wireback Nell and Jay Will for
Yes,
joining us
sir.
tonight. Also the panel that's always here on Wire Wednesday. And man, I really appreciate y'all, man. We gonna keep doing what we doing. And I know it's a narrative. We talk about it here on this channel, man. We talk about it because we have to be real about it. That's one of the reasons why we talk about it, because we bring in difference of opinion and we try to be real about
my
it.
signal just choppy.
Yeah, we try to be real about it, man. That's the whole key to the game here, right? Because if you don't hear realness out through the interweb, you go hear
No,
realness.
I mean, I can't hear anything. Like everybody's quiet. Is anybody talking?
Oh, yeah, he's all.
Yeah, we talking.
Yeah,
We're
no,
talking.
we
Yeah,
talking.
we
We
talking,
talking,
boy.
LB, but you're not
We
listening,
talking,
sir.
boy.
Yeah.
We talking,
He's
boy.
gonna take over the screen.
Unmuted himself.
He gangster.
Go ahead.
Is anyone here? Are we live? Are we live? Anyone?
Live yet?
Look, it went quiet all of a sudden. I'm like, man, what happened?
Hey, what phone you on, man?
I'm on the iPhone right now.
Of
Oh,
course you are. Of course you
it's
are.
the Nick Cam.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course you are. iPhone
sure.
14?
He ain't got the
13
rings
Pro
for
Max.
Saturn.
Go.
No, this is the 12. I grabbed the 14. I pre-ordered the 14 and then canceled at the last minute.
Oh, so you're not gonna get it until January, huh?
Hey, I see that purple. I see that purple.
I didn't care.
I see that purple. I see that purple.
Thanos' big brother right there.
Papa.
And I won't
Love
put the
that.
Thanos up, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
You crazy.
Don't do that.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
that's
don't
what
do
I'm
that.
talking about. Well, another episode of Wired Wednesdays in the books.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you very much. We're going to be here next Wednesday, another same bat place, same bat time. And I really appreciate the panel. Don't forget to subscribe to everybody here on this panel. Y'all know who we are.
I like it, Jay.
Yeah, look at that. Ooh.
I like that leather. I like that leather skin. I like it. What you got there? What else is it?
That burgundy.
Look at that. I can't wait for the picture 7, man.
Lemongrass, baby.
That's gonna be it right there, man. I'm telling you.
That hazel gonna sell out.
Hey, that hazelnut.
Yeah.
I'm on the hazelnut.
I'm getting the Jack Frost.
Yes.
Ooh, that hazel.
I'm on that hazelnut.
The hazel. The hazel.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate everybody for coming
I'll
out.
take Obsidian. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm going with Wesley Snipes.
So check this out, right? If you want to listen to the audio version of this live stream, I will be posting it on the Tech Preacher Podcast channel on Spotify and all your podcast channels. This will be live, y'all. I tell you what, people have been loving it. Thank y'all guys very much for supporting the podcast channel. But we out of here, y'all. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I got that podcast tomorrow. So I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow, y'all. So, we going to do our thing tomorrow. Thank y'all very much. We out, y'all.
That's how I got that heat. Let's